Unleashed. Welcome back to Feed the Beast Unleashed. It's Collins again. Got my wizard hat on because I'm doing some Thaumcraft research. And got some stuff in the Thaumonomicon built up. We did get unified Thaumic field theory. So we're actually in the second stage of Thaumcraft. And just to let you know, to get this one, you need like a weird aspect. So this recipe is actually really cool. You take a book, a feather, and ink sac, and you get this book and quill. And you take this book and quill, and you write something in here. And once you close this book out, it becomes a research, or becomes a written book, actually, is what it's called. I just named it research, and if we hold shift down, we'll see that the Thaumcraft aspects, the one on the end there is Timbris, I believe it's called, that little time clock or hourglass looking thing. So this is an easy way to get that hourglass thing to do that aspect to get through stage 1. And you can see I made a bunch of them and didn't use them all, and I need to just put X in there, but that's what we got. So now where we're at is we have Arcane Ear, and we got most of this done except for this aspect is Tenebris, which is sound. Let's put the Thaumonomicon back. We don't need that just yet. So I know a way to get sound. What we do is we go to the Twilight Forest. So this is kind of the noisy section over here. We got these passive mobs making noise. We got the vanilla nether portal making noise. Don't really do much at this end of the base yet. And then we got our portal going downstairs. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to make our, we'll just make this our portal area. So to get to the Twilight Forest, you throw a diamond in a pool of water, and it's got to be surrounded by flowery things. And this should make a spark. Let's just do this. Yep, there we go. So we got a Twilight Forest portal, and I did make a bed, so we'll put that down when we get in. And we'll just go through this. So what we're looking for is cicadas, which are those noisy bugs that grow on the big trees. Hopefully this won't be a crazy place that we spawn at. We spawn in a dark forest in the undergrowth. I'm going to be mad. It's going to be very annoying. But we're going to give this a shot, see what it does. Oh, and look, we did. We got in the canopy over here. Alright, so let's throw some torches down, because I know that stuff will spawn in here when it's dark. And we're kind of on the edge of the canopy, so I guess it's not too bad. Let's go over here. Let's carve out a little area. We'll call this home base. Yeah, look, baddies are spawning already. Alright, so this should bind me here. And I don't need that stuff yet. Here's stuff dropping already. This shouldn't be too difficult with all the Railcraft powered stuff. So what we're looking for is some trees like that one over there. Oh look, these things spawn up here. Interesting. So we just want some of these cicadas. Do I want to go after that slime? These slimes don't drop anything really good, do they? Oh, hey, we got one of these things, so let's check this out. More? Okay, so this thing, sometimes underground, there'll be something in here, and we got busted. We got nothing. and we have some moss stone, so we're not too worried about that. But we want one of these big oak trees, like this one. And these little noisy guys are what we're looking for. Okay, so we need a bunch of those. Oh, those are the glowy bugs. We need these ones. Oh, sounds like there's a spawner in this tree. We gotta be careful with this thing here and pay attention to our meter in Darkcraft. We only get 40 seconds, I believe, of flight from this. So we wait for that to recharge. Get some more of these bugs. Are there any more over here? There's a glowy. There's a noisy. I still hear more. Yeah, so this is all I'm really going to do in here for now. Okay, so we got a dozen of these. The one thing I did not do is put a waypoint in for my home, which I believe is over that way. Rule number one, you should make a waypoint for your way home. So I found it. We kind of cheated on this because since I'm doing YouTube and recording videos, I just recorded a video of, or went back and looked at my recorded video. So now let's set up a waypoint. Okay, and let's take a look at see what this thing is. Is that something on the surface? This little blue thing? Oh yeah, look at that thing. What is it? It's a kobold. What's he drop? Gold nuggets. Sweet. And there's these big looking monsters on the map, but they seem to have despawned. But anyway, we got our cicadas. Let's go back and see if we can get research going for this thing. Oh, I should probably make this a little bit higher. Yeah, let's not fall through that next time. Alright, so we go back up to our research table. Let's try these cicadas out. Look at that. 4 Sonus. That's what it's called, not Tenebris. There we go. Alright, so that gives us Arcane Ear, which we discovered. So I've been looking some of this stuff up, and I've done this all this research in the previous world, so we'll do some more here. So I've been kind of looking some stuff up on the wikis and stuff to get an idea what I need to research. I took some of these glowy fireflies and stuck them around the base. But I know the research we want is we want goggles of revealing, so we use the carrot to give us Visium, and this looks like goggles of revealing, so that's what we need. And I know we need some more of this this entry here, Cognito, so let's try this out. Have a use for these books now. Okay, the other thing that gives Cognito is zombie brains. We have a bunch of those. There we go. And then I think we need some armor stuff. This imp leather I have a bunch of, but I'm not really going to use, so we need this Tudeman. Okay. And we need some magic, so my magic saplings that I have a ton of will work perfectly for that. I hope. Okay, and then we need this mutado, which also comes from slime balls. And we have a bunch of those. And there we go. So now we can make goggles of revealing. Building on the basic principles of the thermometer, you have begun refining its ability to detect magic into something more revealing. You hope this set of mystical lenses will show you the presence in both magic and flux. So that's what we want, is goggles of revealing. So let's get the stuff together we need to craft these bad boys up. Let's see, we need leather, gold, and then we need these thermometers, which are more gold and a water shard. Okay, so here's our research. We have an arcane work table right now, and in order to make this goggles of revealing, we need an infusion altar. So we get that with magical building blocks, and we make this together. We get the infusion altar. So we need these arcane stone blocks, which is some thaumium ingots and some stone. And we got some thaumium ingots by using our Railcraft wand to disenchant some thaumium tools. So we have thaumium ingots and we have stone, and we're going to get arcane stone blocks. There we go. So now we can actually, let's take the wand out of there. We can put this over here for now. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we hit that with our wand. And now we have an arcane work table. So now the next thing we need to do is upgrade our wand, which I believe is like this. Oh, and look, I caused a wisp to spawn, and I think he's a bad one. This is going to make a mess. It's going to make a big mess. Yep, he's a bad one. Alright, we got him. Okay. So he's down. Yeah, and the lame part is the more I fight them, the more repair my armor takes, and the more chance I have other stuff spawn in. So we got some shards in here to upgrade our wand to the wand of the adept. What I did is I just threw, this is going to be horrible. So I have these leather drops from the mobs, and I threw some in here just to get this magic thing with the little magic wand there, the 8. So we need 16 of those. I threw 2 pieces of heavily enchanted armor that dropped, and now we have wand of the adept. And that's going to allow us to make goggles of the revealing, I believe. So to do this, we need that, and that, and that. And now I need 8 more of this, 8 Visium, and then 8 Mutado. So let's take some water. And I had an infinite spring I set up over here. So the 8 Visium comes from 4 carrots. The 8 of the Mutado comes from these nether warts. 8 of those. And another piece of cruddy armor that we're going to throw away and get a bunch of wild aspects. This is going to be messy, but it will give us the goggles of revealing that we need. So there we go, we got goggles of revealing. I'm probably going to make another wisp spawn. So now the question is, where is that Thaumcraft node? And it's right there. Jeez. Okay. So now we just need to look at it pulling from something else. Now we just need to set up a trap. Alright, so we got this set up just in time. There was actually just one in here. So what we did is we took some vanilla hoppers on the bottom and pointed them all at an ender chest, which is my sorting ender chest, or my storage input. And We surrounded it with glass, put the quicksand on the top. What usually happens is the wisps spawn in the quicksand and they suffocate and they die, and then their drops fall in the hoppers, go in the ender chest, and I get the wispy essences. Very cheaty, but the other thing too is that it was Paul and Aura, so he's over here somewhere. And oh, there's another node, we gotta fix that one too. And this one kind of looks cool with the scaffolding, looks like that's holding it up. But we built one over here, and we built one on the other side of the base. So this one's also blocked off, so hopefully this will keep the wisps from running around in the world. They'll just spawn, die in the quicksand, and I'll get their wispy essences. Pretty cool. And I don't know if we do more Thaumcraft, like making Thaumcraft stuff. I think we'll make a we'll put it on video. But in the meantime, we can put that away. So I made crafting tables, and if you look at these crafting tables, it doesn't have the little crafting thing, the little anvil icon. But I made these out of a non-vanilla wood, so they're different crafting tables. So I thought maybe the only way to do it was to make these pocket crafting tables, which don't stack. But yeah, so now don't know what to do with all these crafting tables. But we'll figure something out. So here's all the chunk we carved out, and I don't see a node around here. That's probably a good thing that we don't have a node in the base here. There's 581. That's a pretty big node. So there's our steam boilers. There's our mob spawner farm we have. And the one thing I didn't mention about this is because it's a dark room, normal mobs spawn in there, and then that recharges the mob essence. That way I have enough mob essence to spawn like blazes and stuff when I need them. And then over here, we set this up. This is going to be where we have tanks. And the cool thing about the tanks here is, let's see, let's take a look first. Come on. So the cool thing about the tanks is you can make them pretty big. So those 3 blocks there, that's the size that it's going to be. And if we take a look at our chunk border stuff, it would be right on the edge of the chunk border if we expanded it to full size. Right now we've made some pretty small ones, and these are made out of steel tank walls, and you can color these with dye now. And the one thing when you color them with dye is if you break them with a regular pick, they turn into uncolored blocks, which is actually one way to do if you've colored too many of the wrong ones. But you can break them with the silk touch pick, and the colored blocks come back. So we have a bunch of tanks that we set up, and we can expand any of these we want, and it doesn't look like there's a node in the immediate area in here. I'll hunt nodes down if we get some more wisps spawning in the world. So we have a tank here. This one's filled up with liquid force, so I've taken all of my force shards and turned it into liquid force, and then you can use a carpenter to make the stuff that you normally use the force shards for. And this is pretty simple. I did something like this in the LP last time. So we have an input tank hooked up to a valve, and that's orange side up, which means everything that goes into that ender tank will go into the tank in here. And then this is blue side up with a different color code, and everything comes out of here, and there's a lever powering the liquid ducts. And this is the max height it can be, but it's not as big wide as it can be. But the cool thing about these tanks is the block in the center, which let's take a look here. So this block right there is the center of the tank. So if I expand this tank and I leave the center block there, it will remember how much liquid was in it. And actually the cool thing is, with the force stuff, you can use the force wrench to force wrench this block and move the actual whole tank. As long as you force wrench the middle block on the bottom and take it somewhere else where you build that as the middle of your new tank. So I was playing around with where to put these in the chunk. This is actually one of the other 3 chunks. This is right below the liquid fueled boiler, because this purple one is biofuel for the liquid. Once we get enough in there, we will fire up the liquid fueled boiler. And this is the same thing, orange in, blue out. Down here we have mob essence. There's a little bit in there. So this comes from the mob system over there that is spawning the mobs. The grinder, when it kills the random mobs that just spawn because the room is dark, will store the essence, and then when I need it to make blazes or witches or whatever, then it uses the essence from here. So that's these are the tanks that are below the auto spawners, and those are the tanks that are above the grinders. So the grinders will input mob essence in here, the auto spawners will take it out of there, and then we're good to go. And then we also have some seed oil in the one down here. So I set these up kind of in the area I want them to be, and we kind of have our tanks covered for a little bit. Looks pretty cool. It'll look awesome when they expand. Come on. So yeah, there's our tank set up in the world. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know, we may want to store some other liquids, but for now that'll work. Pretty good. And then this thing's been running pretty nice. Passive mobs, like I said, or not passive mobs, but normal mobs spawn in this room because it's dark. No mobs can spawn on top of this force brick. I was going to do half slabs or glass or something, but since we discovered this force brick, we're using it. And then this just sucks power in from the energy tesseract, which we have plenty of power at the base now, even with just the one boiler, and we can fire up the second one. I'm just getting a stock of biofuel, for when we fire that thing up, because it'll use twice as fast. And then over here, when we mine this out, there's a vanilla spawner in that area right there. And then we're in the edge of the Sacred Springs biome. So we have this water here, which gives you regeneration when you stand in it. It's kind of cool. We'll have to figure out a way to move this, though, because when you pick it up with a regular bucket, it just turns into normal water. But there is supposed to be a way to make it actually, like you can make a special bucket or something, so that you can capture the stuff and move it somewhere, so we can take some upstairs. Meanwhile, we got regeneration. Woohoo! There's a poison ones that spawn somewhere over here, actually on that end of the base. I believe I blocked the whole thing off, but we had some poison pools down here. Yeah, I filled the whole thing in when we quarried out this section. And then this area of the base, I think we'll leave this as kind of like the basement and kind of hide it. So in here is the sludge boiler that makes like quicksand and stuff like that. And then I just use scaffolding to kind of block it off. It's kind of cool looking. It's got that industrial look to it. And then we got the assembly tables over here. I mentioned that we use the assembly tables, so we use them to make these chipsets that you need. Here we go. So we need basic processors and advanced processors, which are made out of gold and diamonds. You can either make this basic processor assembly and cook it, or you can, in an assembly table, place some silicon, some redstone, and some gold ingots, and it will make one. So I set that up in here. I set it up to automatically craft it. I had hopper in and hopper out, but the hopper in, what happens with this assembly table is it tries to put the output into, if you don't have a chest nearby, it just flings the output out. It's kind of weird in this version. It didn't do that in the last version, it just stayed in the assembly table, but it just flings stuff out. So if you put a storage nearby, like I have this ender chest, my input one, my gray, brown, gray, it will go into an adjacent chest, and actually it goes into an adjacent inventory. So the hopper that was feeding it in was considered an adjacent inventory, so sometimes when it made the item, it would put it in the hopper, which would put it back in the assembly table, and it wouldn't go back into my storage system. So we switched over to some pipes, and we got these force transport pipes. So you make these just like a regular pipe. So this is just force ingots and glass, just like all the regular ones are, you know, where's the, you know, stone and glass, gold and glass, iron and glass, whatever. So force and glass makes those, and then we have this automatic wooden pipe. It took me a little bit to figure this thing out. So it's not, like I thought it would be, you just make it and it automatically works, but you have to actually put it, and we didn't play with the logistics pipes yet either. So here's our automatic wooden pipe, and you need 2 redstone engines around glass, and it will make the automatic pipes. But on their own, they don't do anything. You have to put a gate here. And I was thinking, well, why put a gate? Because I can just use a regular wooden pipe and put a gate in. But a regular wooden pipe needs an autarctic gate, which means you use ender pearls and iron. This needs just a regular gate, which just needs a redstone. So you take the regular gate and you attach it to the automatic wooden pipe, and you can set it just like everything else. Items in inventory, extract, whatever. So when stuff goes into this ender chest, which my ME system puts it in there, when things need to be done in the assembly table, it will pump it out of the chest into the assembly table. The assembly table is attached next to my input chest for this system. So when it's done, it will spit stuff into this chest automatically. And we got a couple of them because there's different recipes that you have to do. Like if you put redstone in by itself, it will try to craft it into a redstone chipset. So in order to make the redstone chipset, you do it on a separate table, and these share the same lasers, because this table doesn't make redstone chipsets when you put redstone in. So as the ME system's filling it with ingredients, it's not going to try to make a redstone chipset first. I mentioned Darkcraft before, so we did the Darkcraft stuff. This one, the ender tank from down below, is putting liquid force in here, and this is maxed out with the upgrade tomb. And then I have in my ME system, I have a squeezer, so or the force thingies. Where are they at? These force gems go into the squeezer when I get more than the 64 that's in that chest, and then they get pumped into the ender tank. And then the other one too is the liquid transposer. When I get buckets of force from drops, it takes those and puts the liquid force in here and puts the bucket back in my inventory. And then the third one I have another Darkcraft force infuser, which I put a book in here, but you don't even need a book. So these shards, these force shards, you can turn them into liquid force when you put them in a force infuser. So this one is just a way to do it, and you can see the liquid force went in and then it went into the ender tank. There is no way, I didn't find a way to automate this. I tried hoppers, I tried pipes, I tried all sorts of stuff. I was spitting items all over the place. There isn't a way for me to that I have found to pipe items in here. However, I can use the liquid duct to suck the liquid force out. So we just manually look at the shards every once in a while, drop them in here, and it will put them in the ender tank to go upstairs. And it looks like that's about all we have time for. So we did a little bit of Thaumcraft. We blocked off the Thaumcraft nodes. We went to the Twilight Forest. We've automated a whole bunch of stuff in the ME system. So we got automated crafting, and it's kind of nice with these ender chests because, like, I have this chest for cooking things, and I can either hook it up to a bunch of furnaces, or I can hook it up to the steam boilers that I have, or I can do whatever I want, and I can put those anywhere I want. Like we stuck the steam boilers way down at the bottom of the base, but it uses the same chest. I don't have to change anything in my ME system to change what I'm using to cook stuff with. But we'll work on some more of that, and maybe clean up some of the ME stuff we have downstairs, and we'll play with some other fun stuff next episode. So thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for subscribing. Bye.